Hello, guys. Welcome back to Get Your Shit Together. I'm your host, Belen. And today's episode is a fun one because I have on Jamie Mcguire, and she is one of my nearest and dearest. We've known each other for almost 20 years. And Jamie is an LA-based esthetician, Jamie Ann Aesthetics. She is incredibly knowledgeable of skin, and she approaches skin by focusing on correcting, treating, and preventing. She really tells us how it is when it comes down to skincare, what we should be looking for, down to our diets, all the oils that are in food. We talk about Botox. We talk about celebrity skincare lines. We go all over the place. It's a very informative and fun conversation that we have, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So without further ado, please welcome Jamie Mcguire. Jamie, welcome to Get Your Shit Together.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
I'm very excited to be here. So a little background, Jamie and I have known each other for 10,000 years.
I was going to say, let's just not say the number.
We're not going to say, but Jamie and I have known each other for a very long time. We have seen the glow up on both of our ends, on my side, on her side. So it's really a full circle moment right now for both of us being here.
Very much so. This is very you, by the way. This was meant to be for you for sure. So I'm happy about this.
Thank you. I also want to point out, in case anyone's confused, if Jamie is in Antarctica, she's not. She's in sunny California. She's in Los Angeles, but
do you hear the AC going on right now? Like, I'm telling you, it's very cozy in here, so I feel my element, and I'm just not going to deny fall. Fall is here. I will.
Listen, girl, I'm with you. And if anyone is not watching this and is listening to the audio, Jamie is in a turtleneck and in a parka, basically.
Blend turtleneck.
So,
yeah, well, the blend turtleneck is a must. The parka was an add-on.
Oh, you look fab.
Thanks, babe.
So we're going to get into a bunch of stuff today, but let's start off with telling my audience who you are, what you do, and just kind of the 411.
Cool. So I have a skincare practice business in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills. I've been doing it 10 plus years. My philosophies are a little different than most. I definitely am more about the wellness aspect of things, more holistic. Inside is one of the most important aspects to your skin health. So what's going on in your gut, your diet, your lifestyle, it's all encompassing. It's not just about, what you put on your skin. I try and really retrain people. It's a whole full spectrum service from start to finish when it comes to my clientele and my brand. I don't just like to push some random things out there that I don't have personal experience with, and also clientele experience. So, I don't try and really feed into a bunch of the skincare BS. I like to debunk a lot of it and stick to what I know and what I have known for personally myself for 14 plus years, my business for 10 plus years. So I kind of just go off of that. I like to keep it as real as possible and not really BS anybody. And I've seen the results in myself and everybody else, so I'm happy to be a different aspect.
Yeah, and you just said it. You see the different, you practice everything on yourself, and you've never looked better. Your skin is reversing in fucking age, and I know you just had a milestone birthday. You just turned 40 years old, and first of all, it looks like you turned 25, and we're going to get into all the secrets.
Yep.
Very quickly.
Yes.
But I think, as you just mentioned, it's, you practice all of these things on yourself, and it goes so much beyond just the skincare. It's wellness practices and diet. And I know you're so huge on that, and I'm very excited to kind of really get granular with the diet aspect of it. But I know, your approach to skincare, as you said, is not the almost, I hate to say traditional, but you go a little bit deeper.
Yes.
You focus on correcting and treating and on preventing. So I'd love for you to kind of get into that a little bit and explain to me almost like your process when you meet with someone and what, obviously you have clients who are like, I have acne or I have melasma or, all the different issues. Tell me how you approach it.
Right. So when a new client comes to me, the first things I obviously ask are what are your skin concerns? What's been going on with your skin? Just kind of break it down for me. And then I'll just let them speak freely about it. But irregardless, I still need to touch and get into their skin anyway. So pretty quickly into that, I start my process of like cleansing their face, getting really in there to really see what's going on. A lot of people have misconceptions on what their skin is, if it's oily, if it's dry. I go over their protocol right then and there. So what do you do day to day? What's your morning routine? What's your evening routine? I even do that before I even ask what products they are on, like what brands, because it's always going to be like 85 different things. And I'm always going to say the same thing. I cannot speak on any other product line than the one that I have used for 14 years plus. And that doesn't mean that there's bad ones out there, that everything else sucks. It just means I'm not going to speak on something that I don't have personal experience with, but this is my journey. And this is what I'm going to explain to you on how my skincare philosophies work. So
Sure.
when you start working with me, it's not just like a one-time facial. You come in and it's like a treat yourself day. Like it's kind of the opposite. Like you come and you get like beat up a bit, as you
I mean,
have
as I know, but it's kind of like one of those things, and not to interrupt you, but
no, go ahead.
It's like when you get a massage, right? Like I
Right.
want to like get in there. Like it's like when I go and I meet with my trainer, and that like with with Pilates, and like when we first moved to Austin, I was taking all these Pilates classes, and I was like, yo, I want to walk out shaking.
Yes.
I want to work out like I want to walk out and feeling like I just did something amazing for my body. Same thing goes for a facial. I'm not saying
it's
I
a
should be
perfect
bleeding.
analogy. No, it's perfect because I actually say that to people when I'm trying to really retrain their thought process and habits. Is it is like a personal trainer and like a diet. Like pretend as if you are overweight for yourself and you're trying to lose all this weight or whatever your mindset would be. Change that to your skincare routine. It's the same thing. We have to eliminate bad products, bad diet. We have to eliminate bad habits. Cleansing in the morning is one of the first things I eliminate for clientele. Eliminate all toners, eliminate all exfoliants and scrubs, any mechanical scrub devices as well. People that are dealing with melasma, unfortunately, and I know you suffer from this as well, it is an incurable thing, and I can only imagine what it's like to, I have not had melasma all over my face like so many people have in their clientele. Like I have little spots here and there that are completely like tolerable for my lifestyle. I also don't touch the sun. Like I just don't go in it. I love this area in LA and hiking and this and that. I don't do it because to me, it's just too much sun exposure on my face. And it's in my head too much, that's not to say that I love some light. Like I need bright places and, I love being outdoors and whatnot, but it's just like my actual face in the sun being exposed to it. So when it comes to my melasma clientele, I have to get into their lifestyle. What is capable of them to do? Like, if it's a mom running around, all day long and school and practice and this, I mean, she's getting exposed to the sun for hours on end just via her car, errands, running in and out of stores, anything like that. So I have to kind of like tailor everything specifically to each clientele. There is no one size fits all when it comes to skincare. It is a commitment. It is like something that if I'm going to invest my time into, you need to be into it as well. And you have to understand it is a process. The first things I also go over with clients, do not have any unrealistic expectations to start. You are literally going to take 6 months to a year of what I tell you, and I can almost guarantee the results that I want. If you don't do that and you're not ready and willing to do that, I cannot promise anything. And I have that happen so many times. People are like full in, and for 3 months they're going. And it's like, month number 4, where are you? Month number 5, pop up on the 6th month, and I'm like, okay, we're kind of starting from scratch again. Like, you've got to listen to me. Yeah.
Well, I think people want instant gratification. That's the fucking world that we live in.
Including myself. Like, I can't even judge it.
Of course, me too.
No judgment at all.
It's like 100%, it's like I start taking vitamins for my hair, and I'm like, why don't I look like Rapunzel in 1 week? Like,
exactly.
So but it's the instant gratification. Like you just said, it is commitment. And let me tell you something. I have melasma and I get a mustache. So you're lucky that you don't suffer from this.
And I will say that as well. I know that is it's a hard thing to deal with. I can only imagine, because it's not just here too. I know that's your area, but like people that do, like imagine the beard as well. That is a thing where it goes all around the jaw.
I don't even know what I would do. And it's so bad here in this fucking heat. It's like
I know, because you have to stay out of the heat for it.
Yeah. And so nice. My car is like murdered out, as you know, like thank God. Tinted, but as you just said, it's like when I walk Fiona, I'm in a hat, I'm in sunscreen, then I'm going to the store. I'm like, you can't escape the sun.
And can I say something too to the people that are the SPF addicts? SPF is great. You should be wearing it daily when you're running around. Do not
It's in
rely.
here.
Oh, it's in your, I know it's in your DNA. You have that, like that plus a hat. I know you're on top of it. However, so many people out there rely on solely SPF to be their protector. I don't care if it's SPF 550. If you are going to lay or expose yourself to direct sunlight, there is only so much a cream SPF is going to do for your skin. We, and especially in LA, are all so reliant on SPF, thinking I've got my SPF on during the day. I'm not going to have any sun exposure. Everything's going to be fine. No, 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 no. You drive that car, you have a window, you have blaring heat, you get out of the car, walk 5 minutes down the street.
You're sweating.
Your skin is not going to like have this completely protective layer, which by the way is a product, serum, cream, whatever it is, that is not able to protect against the sun fully at all. It is a day-to-day thing that you should be wearing to give you a little protection. And when I say a little, I don't care how high the SPF is. It gives you that much. Stay out of the sun, as Lauren Bostic would say. Stay out of the fucking sun. Like, no joke.
Listen,
it's
you
like,
heard it
stay
here
out.
first.
If that's
Yeah,
what
no,
if that's
100%.
your goal, if that's your goal. And I'm not saying that's everybody's thing. You know, I know what I care about, and that is my skin. That's my lifestyle, my business, my everything. So I can follow those rules. It's different for everybody. So we just have to figure out those little like tips and tricks to help people like retrain. Don't get reliant on SPF. Wear bigger hats. Look like a psychopath. Wear a sun visor. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, do all the things if you really care. If you really want change. You know?
Listen, I'm trying to age in reverse, not forward. So exactly. I'm just like, I agree with everything that you just said.
Yeah.
So I want to get into several things, but let's start with the correlation of diet.
Okay.
Then we're gonna get into Trader Joe's. Okay.
Oh yeah, let's
but
go.
I want to get into, because you've been on a journey with your gut. And me, as long as we've known each other, I've always had fucking gut issues.
Yes, you have.
And SIBO and bullshit and all the things. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like finally over the past couple of years, people have really connected that our skin is correlated to our gut.
Yes.
And I think for a very long time, nobody was putting these two things together. So
you're right.
I want you to dive into the importance of a healthy gut and how so much determines of what we're eating that's coming out on our skin.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much you just summed it up right there. I mean, that's exactly it. Like, and you're right. It is a newer fad that people are finally grasping, which helps me because I've kind of had this knowledge for quite some time. I mean, I've always been into health and wellness regardless of the correlation to skincare. And then throughout the years and more, you know, studies and this and that, like, it's full-fledged. Like some of the clients I deal with, I mean, a lot of them are acneic, corrective, I mean, and really inflamed skin. And the first thing I talk to them about once we get past their, you know, products and their regimens at home is diet. What is your diet like? What is it more heavy in? And so many, especially LA people, they're like, I eat really clean. I do this. But then you get the other people that are like, I'm vegan. You get the other ones that are like, you know, I stay away from gluten, but then they do this, and this. Like, it is an in-depth process to really know somebody's diet full spectrum, because I have to deal with so many different people that think that one thing's good for their gut or it does well health-wise or what their assumption is health-wise. And they're like so confused as to why their skin is the way it is. And it's like, okay, well, let me hear exactly. Give me a few, examples of what you eat. And it's like 9 times out of 10, I'm like, get rid of it. And they do, and they see changes. But, it's not overnight. It takes so much time. Your gut has to reset. It has to rebuild. It has to get it's months. You can't just eliminate 1 or 2 things and expect within a week or a few days that your skin's going to miraculously clear up. It is a lifestyle change. It takes a lot of time to figure out exactly what it is as well. I'm still dealing with it. Now, it doesn't affect my skin, but it affects my overall.
Has it ever?
It's never affected my skin when it comes to my gut, but I've also always been pretty aware of this stuff. So that's a little different when it comes to me. I feel like, now people are getting more aware of the oils, gluten, obviously, sugars, and, oh my God, there's so many things that people really just kind of allow or make allowances for. And I have those little, those long-term clientele where they're like, I don't know why my skin looks this way. Like, I've been so good lately and da-da-da, but I was on vacation. I did do this, like, during the holidays,
right.
and I did, and it's just like, well, be easy on yourself, like, live your life a little bit, but, like,
Of course.
be accountable as well. Like, don't act like you don't know what's going on. Like, you, at some point, you have to take accountability. Like, your health is number one.
Of course. And also hormones play obviously a humongous role into that as well.
That's one of the hardest ones that I feel really bad for the clients that we do go through everything. Yeah, the hormonal stuff. And I have a few of my Arizona clients that are going through this as well. And it is a bitch. And the thing is you don't want to pump yourself full of, a bunch of random hormones. I know people go through the transition. More people than ever are now getting off of birth control, which actually I'm really happy to hear. That makes things a lot easier, especially your body's going to go through a purge. It's going to go through an imbalance and up and down. But you have to kind of rid yourself of all the crap and all the things that like will affect your hormonal imbalances, so especially when it comes to skin and melasma and adult acne.
Well, that's the one fucking thing. It's like, fuck, I'm getting older. Can there be one thing that like
goes away?
Can look forward to? Yeah, and it's actually gotten way worse for me as I've gotten older. As you know, it's completely been my hormones, and because I eat as clean as humanly possible. I don't eat fried food. I barely drink. All the shit that causes, problematic skin, if you will. And I finally started seeing like a vital health hormone doctor, and we did a very crazy panel, and I have a low fucking thyroid.
Yeah.
And that's in charge of our hormones. So I feel like I finally have things under control, but for me, unfortunately, I could do all the fucking things, not have any of the oils, and it was my hormones.
Yeah, so, and I actually need to get my thyroid tested as well. I'm working with my nutritionist now to kind of do a specific diet plan and do all these things that we're trying to get to the bottom of. Still my gut stuff. The next step is testing the thyroid. I mean, as we get older, shit fucking changes, and it's really hard to keep up with. And I am actually, I take everything with a grain. Like, I look at this as all experience for me to pass on to other people as well. Like, it's a pain in the ass for me to deal with. I can't stand it, especially being in the field that I am. I mean, I should be the last person to have any of this stuff kind of go awry. But, now we have all these things like COVID, like issues from when you were ever sick. It could be, I was sick maybe last December, and this could be a result of that one sickness, because those are little like long-term effects that some people can have from being sick. I also don't know if mine is breast implant illness. That's a whole nother aspect that we have to look into to maybe get my boobs removed. And I know a lot of these symptoms are all very similar. I never even had a specific test for SIBO, the breath test that you take. I haven't had it because all the symptoms, it's so annoying because all the symptoms are still similar, and all the ways that you treat it are all going to be similar as well. So I'm just not trying to shell out every last dollar for all these tests. Like, my blood work comes back good, all these other things. So when I feel the need to, I will. But as of right now, I still have to treat it the same way. Like, you can't eat garlic, can't eat onion, can't eat gluten, no sugar, like no beans, no fun.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, I've taken every fucking test under the sun, literally.
Literally, you have.
And two things I was going to say on that. One, I never got COVID, which is kind of insane.
Yeah.
Like, either I'm dead inside or I'm immortal. I don't know.
You just have a really, I think we talked about your blood type before, and I think you're O or something. Yeah, you have a really strong immune system, which is great.
I do. So there's a couple things I want to say about the thyroid, and that is, seeing a functional doctor, you get so much more information, because when you're seeing a regular doctor, they are taking the research and our blood work, and they're comparing it to the average healthy person.
They're comparing it to really sick people. So to them, my blood work looks really healthy, and that I have nothing wrong with me.
But you're normal.
I'm not crazy. I don't feel good. I know.
100%. It's so fucking enraging. Like, I don't consider.
All my doctors have to have me. All the functional doctors, I don't know if you dealt with this too. They want the results of the blood work from the Western doctors.
Yes.
So because they need to go through it, and they'll see the markers where it actually shows the tiniest imbalance. Yes.
Correct. So when I did this, so I was seeing a functional doctor out here, and then I went to go see an OBGYN, and I had to request all these gnarly, not gnarly, but additional tests.
Yes.
And she was like, why do you want these? And I was like, fucking run it. Why do you care? I'm paying for it. So
Exactly.
then when everything came back and I saw this new hormone doctor, I was like, well, you know, they said everything looks normal. And he's like, what do you think is normal? And I was like, I don't know. My thyroid looks normal. He's like, it's not normal. They did not test your T3 and your T. So basically, there's all this shit that you and I don't know, and the no one knows.
I know. And it's
So-
frustrating. It's maddening to stay out to like try and nobody tells you this stuff. You have to go from one appointment to another to figure all this out. Like I at one point thought I had rheumatoid arthritis. My functional doctor was like, you should go get a test for RA. It's not that expensive. Like it's, you know, maybe $20-$30 to get an RA test. First of all, my veins are baby veins. I literally have 0. Okay. So when people try and take blood from me, it's a challenge.
I have the opposite problem, actually.
Okay, well, it's actually, thank God, because of all the testing we have to have done, be glad that that's your veins. Because mine, it's not, I have no problems with needles. I can handle anything. This is a nightmare because they have to prick me like 5 times. Sometimes they've sent me home because they can't draw any blood. They have to use a pediatric needle. Everything takes longer. So you're just, I don't know, it's awful. So all these little tests, I'm like, tell me everything up front. So I'm not doing 85 tests in 1 month that you can't even draw blood from my veins anymore.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's enraging. And when you do go for the thyroid, let me know because I'll tell you what exactly needs to be tested.
I will.
So because we're on the topic of food, let's get into fucking seed oils and how they're everywhere. So for context, a couple days ago, Jamie was sharing on her stories how she went to Trader Joe's. She hadn't been in a couple days and
a couple years,
excuse me. And she was like, these are the reasons why I'm not the biggest fan, because they sneak oils into everything. And I want to really express, and I want you to express to people the fucking importance of reading ingredients.
Well, I mean, the inflammatory properties alone. Like, I'm really curious how my clientele, regardless of however crappy their diet is, let's say they eat, you know, a ton of cheeses or gluten or whatever. Right. I'm very curious, like their snacking and all the little things that do carry the seed oils and the super high omega-6, whatever. If they were to eliminate just that, how their body would change. Because I'm telling you, some of the clients I deal with are so inflamed, and it's
for sure.
It's painful. And I'm like, it's very clearly internal for me. But I have day to day, I wish I could just be around and leash to them all day and be like, this is what I mean. That's something else with seed oil. That's something else that's bad for you. Why are you buying that? Because I know that there's they're not fully aware. They forget. I even forget sometimes.
Well, me too. And for those who are listening and they're like, what the fuck is seed oils? Tell us what seed oils are.
Like canola oil, vegetable oil, sunflowers and everything. Safflower oils and everything. You look at the back and you really have to because some ingredients are really long, and basically at that point I'd probably give up anyway because I don't need anything that has a laundry list of ingredients like that. I want as pure as possible.
And if you can't pronounce it.
Yes, exactly. So any of these seed oils cause inflammation in the body. Inflammation in the body is linked to a million things, including diseases, cancer, anything skin related, honestly. Inflammation in the body is a bad thing. We're always trying to reduce inflammation in anything. When you sprain something and it hurts and it's painful, it's because it's inflamed. So think about when something's inflamed in your body, the effects that it can have all over. So when you eliminate these as much as possible, I know obviously we eat out, we don't know what oils are going to be in those, and we all cheat to that degree, right? So again, don't be too hard on yourself, but it's more about the balance of it, because you can still incorporate them to a degree, but because they're literally in everything, when people are eating these things day in, day out, that's the only source of oils that they're getting, and they're all this inflammatory seed oil. Even if you have a little bit of olive oil here and there, unfortunately that's not going to combat it enough to be anti-inflammatory to get rid of the seed oil inflammation. So it might be a little confusing for people to understand, and it's just in layman's terms, just if you can, for all costs, stay away from it, read all the ingredients. I mean, I go to Whole Foods in Erewhon and I read the ingredients of like a super healthy cracker that's made out of almond flour. What is it? Summer Mills or Sunny Mills, one of those crackers. Yeah. Sunflower oil. Boom, right there.
So I think what's going on right now with sunflower oil is they're trying to have a fucking moment, and it's cheap. So
Yes,
this is
that's
what
why
all
it's in
these,
everything. Yes,
that's
it's their
that's
way
what
to
they're
cop
doing.
out. I say the same thing about skincare products, by the way. The big name brands, okay? All these brands out there that are in Sephora, even the clinical versions, the medical grade versions, is clinical, SkinCeuticals, all these things. Guys, they're a big name brand for a reason. They get to skimp on ingredients. They get to use the cheap stuff and jack the prices up. It's when you go to Erewhon, when you go to Whole Foods, you think you're getting organic, healthy, gluten-free, grain-free, whatever, and you look at those seed oils, that is their little cut. They can cut cost by
100%.
adding these oils in there. They don't cost as much to produce. They are sustainable. I know that for companies, it's a means to an end to some degree, where they're like, well, we want to make everything as healthy as we possibly can, but here's our one thing. It's just a tiny amount, right?
Yeah.
But you do that over and over and over again. Same thing with skincare. You do that over and over and over again, and you're basically left with just a bunch of rubbing alcohol with a fancy name on it. I mean, literally, it's no different.
It's enraging, and it's like, well, don't get me started on the fucking oils when you're at Erewhon, because it's already like fucking $28 for a cookie,
It pisses
and then
me off.
you
I know.
see that
Tyson
there's
does the
that
same
oil.
thing. He gets so we go through Erewhon and we just think we can shop freely. You cannot shop freely there. It is full of all the crap.
Honestly. It really is. And what's I think also frustrating about when you go out to dinner is you could be like, please olive oil, and they're gonna be like, yeah, sure, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, they could be using who fucking knows.
We have
in the
no
back.
idea. I say butter. To be honest, the easier route for some is
butter,
animal fats. It may not be the best quality, and obviously some butters are made with shit oils and whatnot. But I'm just saying, if I go to like a steakhouse and I ask for a steak, it's like butter and salt kind of thing. Whatever. I mean, I'll deal with it.
Like you just said, we also can't live in a life of fucking fear that there's going to be sunflower oil. Like, you gotta live your life.
It's just what you go and shop for versus
yes,
you gotta be. Yes,
you have to be proactive. First of all, we all have to be proactive for our health, but especially when you're grocery shopping, you have to be proactive. I mean, sometimes I'll buy peanut butter, and it's like sunflower oil, palm oil, cane sugar. I'm like, why palm oil? I'm like, why the fuck is there palm oil?
I know.
And why is there sugar? It should just say peanuts.
I know.
It's so crazy. And tomato sauces, marinara sauce, there's all the sugar.
Sugar is in all this. And I fuck with the marinara sauce often. I have to do all the other things to go with my issues with my gut, which no garlic, no onions. So I have to find the sensitive one, all the things, right? But they do have them out there. You just have to again, look at ingredients, and it's very possible to avoid these things at a larger scale, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel and freak out, and it takes so much time to even get used to some of this stuff. And that's something that I understand. I didn't get it for a while. It takes time to really train your health, your mind, your body, everything.
No, totally. And now I feel like, you and I have been very cautious of this for I want to say 12 years now.
Long time. Yeah.
Long time. And, I know there's apps, there's websites that now people can use, and they can put in they're shopping for, Rouse tomato sauce or whatever it is. But look at it like it's a fucking privilege that you can be reading these ingredients. That's always kind of my motto. Okay, maybe give yourself an extra 15 minutes to go to the grocery store, but look at the ingredients, because you're wondering why you feel like shit. There's always other options. And I hate when people are like, well, it's more expensive or it can't be organic. Actually, it's not. Just read just choose maybe a banana.
Well, yes, yeah, for sure. You can make it what you need to make it, right? You can make 100%. It budget friendly if you want to. I do know that it is very expensive to eat super clean, healthy, because the shit that we have to buy,
100%
protein wise and all that stuff, it is expensive. So I sympathize with that. However, like you just said, then you don't have to get something that's a prepackaged fancy schmancy whatever. Get a 100%. Goddamn banana. If you really can't, find a different way to make it work just to be health conscious. I'm actually very curious when we go back to Oklahoma and Kansas for Christmas, because Tyson's always said to me, it's really hard to find, good quality, healthy ingredients or foods in general, other than clearly they have probably really good proteins and veggies, farmers and stuff like that. But as far as any type of can, box, prepackaged, anything. I'm really curious to go to the stores there and see what I would be dealing with,
Yeah, I can tell you from Jackie going to Alabama, like
Oh, yeah.
it's always like a struggle to find like lettuce and just like veggies. It's crazy because especially us like coming from California, it's like everything is at your disposal. But
Sure.
What I want to add to this is also going to your local farmers market is such a way to like, not only cut down on cost, but like, you're meeting these people and you can ask the questions too. You know what I mean? And like,
Well, I will
really,
say something about that though, and you can tell me, you definitely have more of a farmer's market experience than I do. But even when me and Tyson have gone kind of recently, and I wanted to go for the same reason, right? I just wanted to buy like healthier produce and really support local farmer, all this stuff, right? We go and there's like no organic stands. Like you think that just because it's a farmer's market, it's organic. No,
Yeah.
like they have to actually put a sign up that says organic, and we were shocked because it was the
where
one right
were you?
over
Melrose?
here. The not the Melrose one, the one on
Studio
Ventura
City?
Place, the Studio City
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
There was like 3 or 4 that were or only organic out of all of them, and then you go, and even when they're doing like their little pre-made foods and stuff like that, and we're starting to read the ingredients. I mean, bad oils for everything. The produce wasn't organic, and anything that obviously was organic was kind of iffy. And that's another, like, I want to support them. I just hate it more than anything. I hate wasting food and wasting money. So if I buy something organic and it goes bad the next day, I lose my mind. So that's something else I noticed with farmers markets, where I'm like, it goes bad so fast. So it's hard. With
I know
those ones,
it's a
for
fucking
me.
balance for sure. And by the way, I went to Whole Foods on Monday, and on Wednesday, I'm sure you saw my store. I was
Yes, the cauliflower.
cutting the cauliflower. It's fucking 2 days old. But what's interesting about Texas is the farmers markets here like totally suck for produce, but like your meats and your eggs and like is like super next level. Like, and the quality is 10 times better. But listen, everything, I hate to be like, everything's a balance, but like, you got to kind of pick where, not where you're going to put the effort into, but like like you just said, like maybe the farmer's market isn't the best for that, but you can get better meats or fish.
And honestly, just a little awareness. Like, I have a girlfriend of mine who, she loves to cook. She eats pretty healthy-ish, like, but her healthy is kind of like she buys like all the like Kroger kind of cheap. I posted recently on my story where she sent me where she was buying her regular brown rice that she buys all the time. It's just like already cupped out. It's a microwave thing, whatever. I mean, let's not even get into the fact that it's in a plastic container and you're popping in a microwave, but okay. Like, again, things that I'll just let slide. And the whole thing, it's supposed to just be brown rice. Sunflower oil in it. Why the hell is there sunflower oil in a prepackaged rice container that's just supposed to be brown rice? So it's little things like that, like just some awareness for people, regardless of how they want to take it or pick and choose. I mean, it sinks in a little bit somewhere, and that's all you can really do. You just try and help. And especially when it comes to my clients, like, I'd rather have them be reaching out to me day in, day out, being like, is this okay? This is my grocery list. This, like, I will be happy to go over anything I can, with my clients about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy to me that so many people are unaware of the seed oils, and they're everywhere. That's why when you posted those stories a couple of days ago, I was like, you got so much feedback. I can only imagine actually the amount of messages that you got, because for you and me, we're like, this is a no-brainer, but so many people are like, what do you mean?
I know. And I had no clue that it would even be that big of a deal. I was kind of just, because I've been paying so much in groceries lately. That's the whole reason I went to Traders. I was like, well, I know that I don't go to Traders for those reasons, for all the, the oils and all the crap, but I'm just curious. I might as well, like, I'll make 2 hauls. I'll do the Trader Joe's one, and then I'll go get the rest of my stuff at Whole Foods. And I thought, like, oh, well, this might be a good opportunity to kind of educate some people about, like, and educate myself too on how much stuff. I mean, that was not even close to half of the stuff that I'd picked up and took photos of, as far as the ingredients. Like, that was and just a smidge.
For sure. And I want to be clear, we're not bashing Trader Joe's. Like,
unfortunately, no.
I love Trader Joe's.
We lived on Trader Joe's for so long. But also, I am coming from the back, because it's like, also give some other options or up your ingredients a little bit, like change it
Yeah.
up. Like maybe they should be more aware that people are cluing in, and then they need to like, because I would love to go back to Trader Joe's and shop there more often. So hello,
Yeah.
sir, whoever you are.
Yeah, for sure. But they do, I will say that like what we were messaging about it, like it's great for like you're going to get nuts, you know.
Totally. That's the most affordable.
It's
The
super
nuts are
affordable.
insane everywhere else. Like so many things that were more affordable. Like, I mean, and I can even find some of the stuff that I get from Whole Foods that you think are strictly like the Kerrygold butter is a grass-fed butter that we really like to use. It's really expensive, obviously, at Whole Foods. I stocked up on those things in Trader Joe's. I'm like,
Yeah.
and they're just made
Yeah,
with
no,
olive
they're
oil.
great for that. They
Yeah.
have great wine selections.
Yep.
You know, they obviously do have produce and like they have organic stuff, like, and you know, they have wonderful flowers and like all that
Oh
kind
my
of
God,
stuff.
their
But
flowers are the best thing
no one-
in my life.
no one touches Trader Joe's flowers.
No one.
Like,
They
they're
last
the best.
They must have like
Weeks.
sunflower
oil.
They've got to have sunflower oil in the flower water because they last way too long. I need to know what. There's something.
100%. 100%. But yeah, I'm glad we're on agreement with that.
Yes.
I want to go back to something earlier that you said, and I really want like you to like dive in on this about not washing your face in the morning. Can we get into this?
Yeah, of course. Super easy way to explain to somebody or like a new client. So I say, what's your routine? They say, oh, I wash in the morning and then I wash again at night, blah, blah, right? And I say, okay, well, why are you washing in the morning? And usually it stops them a little bit. They don't really have an answer as to why they're, well, it's just what I do. Like they look at it as like brushing their teeth, right? It's like you're cleaning yourself.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, well, let me explain it to you this way. So when you wash your face in the morning with a cleanser, I'm not saying you can't wipe it down with water because that's what I suggest. When you cleanse it and there's a soapies and you're getting all the like dirt and oil, because that's what our minds are trained to think, you're actually stripping your skin more of your natural oils and your natural moisturization system. That's what keeps our skin moisturized. So then you end up with the oily T-zone throughout the day because your body's overproducing what you just stripped away. So when you're dealing with like either oily or dry, so even if you are on the dry side, you stripped it away. If you're on the oily side, it's because you stripped it away and your body's overproducing it. Either way, it's an imbalance. You only need to wipe your face down with some water. I grab like a little cotton square, put it under the sink, and just wipe down to get off any of the moisturizer, eye serum, serums from the night before, and that's it. And then at night, you can, if I don't wear makeup during the day, I'll just cleanse once, or you can cleanse twice if you had like a makeup day. And that's it. And you just do your makeup remover, serums, moisturizer. There is no need to double cleanse. And I know there's people out there that say, oh, double cleanse or wash in the morning and at night if you have like bad acne. If I have an acneic client, I want to see their skin balance out. I want to see what we can accomplish first with removing the cleansing in the morning. And 10 out of 10 times, it's exactly what they needed for a balancing option. Your skin needs a little bit of its own oils. You can't just keep stripping it away. Same thing with toners. Same thing with scrub exfoliants. They all strip the skin down way too much. Your body starts to freak out and overproduce.
Why? I have two questions. One, why do toners strip your face? And two, I want to know your morning routine. Like you splash water and then you go into your serums?
Yeah. Toners, obviously, toners are all going to be a little bit different. Either they're going to be fragrance-filled, alcohol-based, or just unnecessary astringent type, like a witch hazel or whatever. It's not necessary. Again, don't strip your oils down. Anything that removes your oils like that is too stripping. Same thing with hydrofacials. Come at me with a hydrofacial because I'm telling you right now.
I know you hate them.
That they are stripping your skin down. It's all fluff. It's all gimmick. It looks like it's doing something. It looks like it's all fancy and that your skin's glowing. And 2 days later, your skin's probably breaking out, freaking out, dry as fuck. Like, don't even start with me with hydrofacial. But
the people love them here in Texas. They're fucking everywhere.
They don't know any different. So, they love it because it's like that feeling of like, it's almost, you can compare it to like when they come to me and they're getting extracted to death and feel really good and clean. You're going to look like a psychopath when you leave me. You're going to leave a hydrofacial looking like all dewy and glowy. That's not skincare. What are you getting out? You're a suction cup. Nothing's coming out. It's all fluff. It's like I can give everybody a facial like start to finish and I could still end it with just alcohol if I didn't want to do rubbing alcohol. And I could wipe their face, and they'd probably still have a little bit. You need some sort of oil, a little bit on your skin to maintain the balance. So anyway, there's that portion of that. My morning routine is just, again, the cotton square wipe down my face because I like to have like a feeling of like a wipe as opposed to like just splashing. Because I do wear a heavy like system at night as far as serums and moisturizer, so I really want to make sure I get that part off. And there's some days where I don't do it at all, and I let those things soak in. Like, I don't mind that they're still the same serums and, you know, my vitamin A and stem cell serums from the night before. That's not a big deal either. If you're having a day with no makeup, who cares? Wipe down, I use a peptide spray, kind of make sure the face is wet because I want my skin to be breathing and I want it to absorb the serum that I put on right after. Then I apply an antioxidant serum. That's to help fight against free radicals throughout the day. Really helps to keep everything kind of like nice and glowy and balanced. And then I use a moisturizer on top of that. I don't use a SPF. I don't like them. You know, my makeup, my CC cream has a little bit in there. It's about the protection that I need since I'm like dodging the sun all day long anyway. But normally for people, yes, you'd wear an SPF. I'm just saying my personal routine does not have like a whole bunch of SPF on top.
Well, this is what you do, so you got an edge on everyone else. You know what you're.
I do. Yeah, it's not what I recommend for everybody. Everybody else has to wear sunscreen during the day. This is just me because I know how to like dip and dodge through the sun during the day because I'm like neurotic about it. But
ditto.
I know.
So, tell me your thoughts on skincare, celebrity skincare lines.
God, how much time do you have? I can't stand it. I think that it's all money-making schemes. I think the ingredients, the same way that I talk about ingredients for big-name brands, they're all going to be to a, lesser strength. Let's just assume that they actually put some good shit in there. Lesser strength. It's going to be more, fluff and packaging than anything. It's meant for influencers to look all cute and make some, like, really adorable, photo shoot happen. Here's my challenge. If anybody can like come at me about this opinion, right? Okay, let me know when you actually step foot in one of these celebrities' bathrooms and open up the cabinet. I'm curious what's in them because I promise you it's not start to finish their skincare line. I promise you. So I just rather have celebrities endorse what they actually use. You know what I mean? Like if they're in there using osmosis, then just be the osmosis face and post out and just be like, this is what I use. And if you need to make money being the spokesperson, then make a contract and be the spokesperson and make money off of what you actually use and are doing. Don't come out with your own line when you aren't I don't know how to invent my own skincare line. I want to, but I can't I know what I like. Right. I know the ingredients and blah, blah, blah. I can't just go in right now without a lot of education. And that's with me being an esthetician already, with me being a skincare specialist, with the knowledge I already have. I can't just go to a lab and make something. If I had millions of dollars, then maybe, I would pay somebody to go do it. But I'm also coming from a skincare background. I'm not some model or reality star, this and that, trying to come out with a skincare line. So
she's talking to you, Kim.
Yeah, well, I don't even mind Kim that much, but I don't mind Haley. It's just you guys already have all the things at your disposal anyway, from lasers to surgeries to this to that. You guys have trainers and nutritionists and every possible thing. So you're not going to be able to properly guide people, in my opinion, when it comes to skincare. This is a moneymaker thing for you. More all power to you, but people that really want skincare, and want results, should just know to not probably go the celebrity route, please.
No, I fully agree with you. I think, like you said, that the background isn't there. You can hire all the fucking people, but be
it's all
more
for money. It's all for money
sure.
At the end of the day. That's it.
And like you just said, better to be listen, these are the products that I actually use. I want to be the spokesperson on the face for these products.
Totally.
And as you said, I highly doubt they're using their products from A to Z. There's just no fucking way.
There's no way.
We know this.
We absolutely know this. So, I mean, anybody who wants to try an assistant of somebody or maybe an intern, just go into a bathroom and sneak a little peek and blast it. Because I'm please.
Send us some DMs.
Please put this an end. I need
Send us
this.
some DMs.
Yes, exactly.
So now, obviously, you and I are big fans of prevention. Yes. I want to talk about Botox and I want to talk about just, fillers, all the things, because, I think a lot of people have opinions about it.
Yeah.
And also going too far with it. And what people can do for prevention if they want to start. Like, where would you suggest them to start? And like, obviously that you're not against Botox and all these things.
No, I'm very real with people up front about not only my own work, but when they come to me, especially like anti-aging clientele, they're like, yeah, I just feel like I've never done Botox and I haven't done this and I haven't done that. And like, I just noticed a few wrinkles and this and that. Straight up, I'm like, I will hydrate the fuck out of you. I'll make sure your skin's clean. We'll get you on a good protocol that will hopefully, make your skin and your texture a lot better down the line. If you want to get rid of a wrinkle, it's Botox or filler. If anybody else tells you differently, if any product tells you differently, they'll full of shit. Like, you're not going to be able to get rid of a wrinkle from a cream. It's not happening.
It's not happening.
Stop wasting your time. Like, you
agree.
don't have to use Botox, but then get on board with accepting some of your wrinkles and knowing how to like make them a little more diminished looking, but they're not going away. So Botox, when it comes to my younger clientele, because I'm going off of my own experience, I wish I would have waited a little bit longer to start. I started, I think, at like 25. And my clients, that come to me now, they're anywhere from early 20s to late 30s and a few like 40s, 50s, right? So the younger ones, I'm saying hold off as long as you possibly can, because they're literally talking about a microscopic wrinkle. And what they don't know is that the more that you get, the sooner you start, the less it's going to work down the line. I have to like wean off Botox here and there. Like, I can't.
I remember you telling me
this.
Yeah.
So it's like at one point I was doing it like every 2 months. I really loved the look of it. I still love the look of it. Like, but right now, none. Like, I have like, it's all out of my, well, not all. I mean, there's still probably like a couple weeks left, but I try to eliminate more. And then when I go again, I want to just do maybe 25, 30 units. Another good tip for people is to decade dose. I'm just going to get rid of 20.
You told me this too.
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of 20s altogether because I don't think anybody in their 20s needs to get it yet, to be honest.
I mean, I was 31 when I first got Botox.
You started
I was
later.
I was late. I was a late bloomer with everything, honestly.
Kind of. And I was in certain things too. That was just unfortunately my field early on, so I got suckered, which is fine. I actually did have like a line that was becoming like an indented one, and once I started doing Botox, that went away. So if you have something like that where it's going to be like a permanent like inset line, you want to prevent it, but there's like 10 units, like the smallest amount, and do it like once a year in the beginning. So decade dosing is in your 30s, you get 30-ish plus units, 40s, 40-ish plus units, 50s, 50 plus units. So you want to make sure that you're staying to a degree that's like the lower end so that your body can actually properly react to it when you do put it in there. Because the more that you do and you do it too much, your body gets used to it. It doesn't hold the efficacy anymore. Like, it really will. You get too used to it. And it's just like, why do I still have a line after getting, 75 units? It's like, because your body's used to it. You have to keep adding more in order for your body to even have any type of like freeze moment.
So well, it's like anything, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you build a tolerance.
Exactly.
And it's so bad. And then I think everyone metabolizes it differently as well.
Especially if you're active, because if you work out a lot, if you're out in the sun a lot, there's things like that do tend to get rid of it faster. So I definitely just say and this goes for anybody, and a lot of my clients, they have not done Botox. Like, it's surprising, especially out here. They're like nothing, right? And when they start after I've told them like who to go to, how many units to do, and they're happy with it. But it's just like something that you'd be surprised out here. You would think everybody, but
that's a shocking statement. It's shocking,
actually. Right? And I actually take that as a compliment to me, because I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. Like, you're coming to me for preventative stuff, and let's help you as much as we can until it's to each their own. Some people care, some people don't. I care. I care.
Okay, so if somebody's listening to this and maybe they're in their 20s or they're in their 30s or 40s and they, it's not their thing, or they're not in a financial position that they can get Botox, what are some tangible prevention tips that you can give us that like any of us can start doing that doesn't involve necessarily getting Botox or filler?
Sure. a deep tissue facial massage at home you can do to yourself like 2 to 3 times a week. This will help stimulate the blood flow. Yeah, it just helps to stimulate blood flow, which also helps to build a little bit of collagen. You don't want to do it too often. You don't want to have the skin pulled too much. It's more so massaging the muscles underneath so that when you're tightening and firming them, it helps just lift a little bit. I personally love a new face device. I think that they work pretty well.
I was just going to ask you that. Okay.
Yeah, but it's temporary. Everything's temporary. So for people that are doing even things like this at home, unless you're prepared to do them quite often, but you're like, don't want any wrinkles or you like the lifted look, get maybe on board with considering Botox. I mean, that is something that you would have a longer success rate with than than you would with a new face or something, or even the massage. It's all temporary. A lot of the preventative stuff is going to be proper skincare with medical grade, staying consistent with it, not jumping around all the time. And obviously like keeping a balanced lifestyle too, like less stress, less alcohol, all those types of things. Those are like, man, those are aging components like I've never seen.
Yeah. Seriously, I read your ingredients, guys. That's what basically, if you walk away with one thing from this conversation, read your fucking ingredients.
Yeah.
And what are some do's and don'ts? I know we talked about like not washing your face in the morning, but like what are give me like a couple do's and a couple don'ts that people like literally like they're listening to this and they're like, fuck, my skin is a mess. I can't afford to go see Jamie. I can't afford to go get Botox. What are some things that people can like do and stop doing immediately?
Less is more. Mm-hmm. Stop jumping around from product to product to product. Stick to something. Be consistent with it. Don't, buy into all the hype. Try and stick to one specific line, even if it's 2 things, even if it's 3 things. Do not have like 85 different products with different brands and different ingredients that are all kind of working against each other. Try and keep it down to the minimal and try and keep it all consistent. And that also goes with your routine. So, and then again, if you can't afford a lot of these things, Cetaphil or just do something which is like a drugstore over the counter, but just clean, no fragrance, no, high contents of like an alcohol, and just try and stay hydrated and healthy internally and, just let things balance out. Don't do too much. People go way too crazy with stuff like, especially like at home remedies and things like that. Like just chill.
I mean, I'm guilty of that. I had Celeste on a couple months ago and I was like, first of all, washing my face with fucking hot water like a man in the shower. I don't know what happened, but I clearly had like a brain aneurysm and was doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's just irritating the fuck out of my skin. I kept applying and all these like actives. And it was just like, oh my God, I have to go back to the basics. Like something happened where
100%.
Everything I've known, I forgot. So I like, obviously you're the guru here, but I agree with like the less is more approach and just eliminate one thing at a time or implement one, I think again, we want instant gratification and we're slapping all this shit on our face and it's counteractive.
100%. And I will say another tip, try to stay away, especially for acneic clients. But I say in general, any type of like oils. So whether it be oil serums, oil cleansers, oil moisturizers. Oil is a very thick molecule. For reference, this is why masseuses use it for massage because it's for slip. It doesn't absorb into the skin. So all these people that think they're giving themselves these like glowy glass skin and using these oils and dropping them all over their face, this oil just sits on the surface. It does not penetrate deep enough down to moisturize or hydrate. So it's just sitting on top, also cementing in any debris, oils, dirts underneath as well. So you could be causing more of a breakout. Oil cleansers are the same way, and oil moisturizers. Anti.
Yeah. So you guys heard that. You heard that here first.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to touch on is you also posted this on your stories about buying products on Amazon or on not like the website of the actual brand that's producing the product. So I know you're a huge fan of Osmosis. It's your ride or dies. I've used Osmosis. It's an incredible clean line. Yeah. But I have always gotten my product through you because you're an ambassador and you can place the order for me versus going on Amazon or whatever fucking website if you Google it. So please explain to the listeners how that's a massive no-no.
Well, and by the way, I used to do this as well. So
Of
back in the
course.
day when I did it, I realized that, when I'm not hearing from a few clients or I'm not seeing their orders come through, and I keep all this stuff in the back of my head, and they're coming to me monthly and their skin's a little funky, this and that. And I'm like, well, are you out of your serums? Like, where are you at with your skincare? And they're like, oh yeah, I was, out of town. I ended up just ordering the serum from Amazon. I saw it was on there and da-da-da. And I was like, well, now I can't stand behind what is on your skin. I mean, I'm hoping for the best, but I'm not going to be able to stand behind this. Whatever you're using that has not come through me specifically, I don't know how old it is. I don't know if it's the real deal, if it's the actual product. You're also not getting the medical grade skincare. So you're paying the same amount, but you're getting a lesser concentration of the active ingredient. So it's if you're spending the money and you want results, why would you even bother with anything that was just kind of like a little fluff? Now, keep in mind, they have to be able to sell, the lesser product line to consumers that are just kind of curious about something. They're a business. They're not stupid. They're going to obviously, get whatever they think is, going to get them money. But at the end of the day, you are spending it. You want results. So why wouldn't you go through a skincare professional that sorry, my phone just got dead. That you want to make sure that they know what the best combination is for your skin. Like, I don't carry any product in store because all my clients are going to require different systems. So I work with them, with their skin in person, and then I can base their product recommendation on that. And that comes straight from the manufacturer. It's literally off the belt, the freshest. You wouldn't want your food expired. You don't want anything else expired, but yet you're okay for like your skincare to be sitting in a huge warehouse somewhere, and God knows where. Who knows like how long it's been on the shelf? They're probably like dusting it off as your order's coming in. Like, you don't know. Why wouldn't you just go straight to the source and get the best quality option at all? Like, why would you ever consider anything else? I just don't get it.
Well, one, again, going back to the fucking instant gratification, Amazon's going to overnight it to you. And like, they're maybe trying to save it like a couple bucks, but like you just said, is it worth it? Because it's going to end up damaging your skin. And what's disturbing about this is it's like, as you just said, it could be expired. And that's what's going on right now. Like, I just saw this video on TikTok, and it was about this guy. He obviously got fired for doing this, but he was like, hey, my name's whatever, Todd. And he worked at a facility that made dog treats. And he had to put new expiration labels on the product, even though, yes, it was expired. And he was like, I have 2 dogs. I would never give my dogs these products. And I'm like, we're all fucking consuming shit that's expired. We're just like we're not aware of it because we're trusting these websites. We're trusting these people. And as you just said, with the skincare, they could be filling it with other shit and sealing it.
Well, there's also that, but let's also just get straight to it. You're also not supporting small businesses, by the way. These huge companies and huge corporations that get you a faster shipping rate. Like, listen, I'm a full like Amazon, addict. So I can't even, gripe on that. But you have to understand what you're taking away from other businesses. And these are businesses, by the way, that put their heart and soul and actual human contact and care into. I actually see my clients and I actually order their stuff for them. You know what I mean? Like, this is a full like spectrum service. You're not computer on a phone ordering something on your, you know what I mean? Like, and these companies will be just fine without you purchasing their skincare, by the way. Get your containers and your, laundry detergent all day long through this, but it's just like, and that's the thing. People think or claim they support small businesses. No, you don't. If you are purchasing your skincare products and you're one of my clients, or you work with me, or you take my recommendations and you purchase them elsewhere, A, I cannot stand behind what you're doing, and B, you're not supporting a small business. That's the reality of it.
100%. I mean, listen, you don't have to talk to me about small business. It fucking enrages me, especially too with like fast fashion and like, oh my God, I just read the most fucked up article the other day about
Shein?
Yes.
I know.
I'm like, and again, I shop at H&M and Zara and but it's this fucked up cycle, and it's like how do you stop it when these ginormous corporations like Amazon is like ripping away all this business from small businesses like yourself?
And it's all
meant
to be this way. Like, this is all
it's
meant
all
to be
greed.
happening
It's all
this
money.
way. They're
Yeah.
trying to get rid of, and again, that's how I can look at the celebrity skincare line as well. Why are you taking away from people who actually like put their education, their heart and soul, their business,
Their blood, sweat, and tears.
Their blood, sweat, and tears, and you as an already set millionaire just based on your looks alone. Just stick to your lane. Just be a hot chick that takes great photos. And actually, I'm about your undergarments too, Kim, because you're actually supporting what you personally wear and do. Like, that to me makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Stick to your lane. Why are you dipping your toe into the beauty industry that's actually not makeup, it's skincare? Do you care about other people's skin? Are you going in and looking at people's like newly cleansed faces and, extracting these insane like congestion pimples and like squirting them onto your face? No, you're not.
I am.
You don't have your own skincare line, Belen, so I'm fine with
No,
that.
I meant you. Like, you're going in and you're doing the extractions. Yeah. I meant you, not me.
And yet I'm competing with, Kim K. She wins.
I know. It's fucking enraging.
Yeah.
I feel like we could blabber on for 5 hours, and we're probably going to do a part 2 of this in person because it kills me that we're not. But I always ask my guests, to them, what does it mean to have your shit together? And it can be anything from skincare or your morning routine. But for you, what does that mean? What does that embody and you strive for daily?
Oh my God. It creates balance and more control and happiness, because you literally cannot, especially as an adult, as we've become adults together, it's the only way that you are able to actually like live a fulfilled life, in my opinion. If your shit is all over the place and not together and, chaos, then I feel like that is going to make everything in your life chaos, versus like you having some sort of, and again, it doesn't have to be everything, because I definitely don't have all my shit together either. But yeah, when it comes to little things like skincare or internal health, just those little things help in your day-to-day life and your self-esteem. Like, it really is an important message. So I'm so glad that you have this podcast. So it's a long time coming, just for your own personal lifestyle, but people could really reap the benefits of this.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Pimp yourself out, girlfriend. Where can we find you?
Oh, Jamie and Aesthetics, or it's Jamie _and_ aesthetics is my Instagram handle. JamieandAesthetics.com is my website. Feel free to submit any skincare forms or anything for people that are having any questions out there. DM me. I'm happy to answer as many questions as they can. I no longer give out product recommendations because people like to take those and go buy them from Amazon. So if you'd like an actual custom product recommendation, it's called the Custom Skincare Package. There's a regular and advanced on my website, and I will tailor make your skincare for you. But I will no longer be giving out just free advice via DM or on my website anymore, because people are shady.
Take advantage. If somebody doesn't live in LA and they would like to have a consultation with you, they can still do that though.
100% I do Zoom and FaceTime consults, and I'm happy to work with those clients. Those are also my clients to me. Once we have a talk and we're here together, I'm all there. So that still works for me 100%.
Amazing. Well, thank you for coming on. You're the best. I love you. I miss you.
Thank you for having me. I miss you too.
And you guys, write down, get a notepad, and go back to this episode because there was a lot of information in here.
Sorry, you probably hammered it.
Well, we love it. Thank you.